I do some investing in the health and fitness sector as well. And I've seen the valuation of some of these like home fitness companies, the Peloton-esque companies like Tonal and Mirror and Catalyst and Fight Club, and of course Peloton as well, just explode. And obviously you need to be connected to use those type of products during your session. Some of them allow for like offline downloading of the workouts, which I actually encourage people to do if they can, because it's one less distraction, one less notification going off on your device while you're working out, et cetera. And possibly, even a bigger thing here that a lot of people don't think about is all of these devices, all these things you need to be connected to, they do emit low-level radiation.
I'm Dave Rubin, and joining me today is a human performance consultant, a speaker, and a New York Times best-selling author of 17 books, including Beyond Training, Boundless, and Fit Soul. Ben Greenfield, welcome to the Rubin Report.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Ben, this is the first time for me. I have never had a guest. I've probably interviewed about 1,000 people at this point. I don't think I've ever had a guest just sort of wandering in the forest. First time.
Really? Have you ever had a guest wandering in the forest naked?
Are you bare-ass naked?
Well, in this area, you never know when somebody's wearing pants. But considering that I'm walking through the neighborhood and not strolling on the treadmill in my office, I did have to pull on a little bit of clothing. But I'll try not to have any wardrobe malfunctions during our show here.
Fair enough.
I just like to get my vitamin D.
Yeah. This is YouTube, not Pornhub. Let's keep it clean. All right. So as you know, right now, I am off the grid completely. We are taping this at the end of July. For an August release, I am completely away from cell phones, all tech, television, news, the whole thing. I'm working on diet, I'm working on exercise, and I'm working on a digital detox. Let's start there with the digital detox situation. As a guy that's doing YouTube interviews while doing exercise and wandering around, I take it you think maybe we're a little too connected these days?
Well, first of all, I don't know how the heck you're staying fit during a digital detox without being able to be motivated by all the Instagram influencers out there, because we all know the best way to get fit is via osmosis and scrolling through Babe and Hulk feeds on Instagram. But
right.
That being said, I honestly, I really took a great deal of pride for years in being like one of those hyper-connected guys. And by hyper-connected, I don't mean on social media all day, but I mean, using all the wearables, the self-quantification devices, the supercomputers on my bike, the power meters on my laces for running, the swimming goggles that tell you how many laps you swum, with like a screen right there in the goggle. Yeah. I really like to be a little bit more unplugged now. I'm pretty bare bones when it comes to fitness. I wear like a ring that tracks my step count and my sleep, and a cheap ass $15 Timex, and that's about all that I do now. But, I think even more related to your point is this idea that, the more connected you are, the more difficult it can be to move and to exercise, because it's just difficult to engage on something like social media while you're working out, which is obviously why half the people at a gym have their asses parked on a bench, hunched over, looking on their phones rather than, before that it was magazines on the TV. Now it's just replaced by phones. But, I think that there can be some efficacy to this stuff. Like I've even seen during COVID, some of these companies, because I do some investing in the health and fitness sector as well, and I've seen the valuation of some of these like home fitness companies, the Peloton-esque companies like Tonal and Mirror and Catalyst and Fight Club, and of course Peloton as well, just explode. And obviously you need to be connected to use those type of products during your session. Some of them allow for like offline downloading of the workouts, which I actually encourage people to do if they can, because it's one less distraction, one less notification going off on your device while you're working out, et cetera. And possibly, even a bigger thing here that a lot of people don't think about is all of these devices, all these things you need to be connected to, they do emit low-level radiation that could be problematic in terms of your mitochondrial function, your red blood cell, what's called red blood cell stickiness, or the propensity of red blood cells to aggregate together, the calcium influx into a cell, which causes a little bit more of a burn and a slower ability to be able to buffer lactic acid and some of the things that build up during lactic acid or during exercise. A lot of that stuff actually becomes affected by exposure to, your cell phone signal, 5G, Wi-Fi, et cetera. That's why a lot of people during a day of work, they get brain fog, they feel kind of blah in the afternoon. They don't sleep well. They got a bunch of devices next to their bed. And so I question, the impact some of those things are having on you while you're exercising as well, if you are using those type of things during exercise. And then, of course, the use apart from exercise is just, it can be a time suck, but there's some efficacy. I see a ton of benefit in social media for spreading a lot of good knowledge and information. Obviously, it can spread disinformation, negativity as well, but I think when responsibly used, it's a big blessing.
Yeah, you mentioned tonal and mirror, and I just was at the mall the other day. I saw tonal. So it's basically like these mirror type. I mean, they're literally mirrors that you stand in front of to work out. They have some, some things you can pull on, and they're connected to the internet and all that. Do you think there's a risk in people actually doing this stuff all from home and not going to the gym, not being around other people, getting that kind of motivation?
Well, first, not really, because they enable people to be able to actually, they just lower the barrier of entry, right? If you can roll out of bed and walk over to your basement or your backyard or whatever, and just use a home training device, and furthermore, relate to the safety component, use a home training device that now has the ability to have a personal trainer, or an expert walking you through the workout. And again, sometimes I do full body electrical muscle stimulation workouts, which sounds crazy, but I mean, it's very simple. You just pull on this suit and it stimulates your muscles while you're exercising, so you use more muscles. And it has a personal trainer that walks you through the workout, but I can download all those workouts because they're pre-recorded. And it's actually very, very similar to what you might experience in a group fitness class at a health club or a gym. So I'm not really against that. I mean, I think that probably the two main things that we miss out on by not being able to go to a health club or gym, or by kind of making those highly optional due to the emergence of a lot of these higher end home fitness training devices, is that we know that human beings thrive on connectivity to other human beings. Touch, eyes, even the electromagnetic signal sent out by our hearts and our brains. We are designed to be social creatures, just based on, that whole idea that, in more ancestral times, to be banished or cut off from the village or from your tribe usually resulted in death. And we still have kind of that nervous system and physiological response to isolation that causes a lot of the health issues that we're now seeing. We saw it before COVID. We see it more now, just this idea that human beings don't thrive when we are alone for long periods of time, and digital interactions do not replace what happens physiologically during physical interactions. And then in addition to missing out on that, and that can be replaced by dinner parties and outings and hanging out with friends, et cetera. But the other thing is that there's a lot of value as well to shared experiences, right? And honestly, that's even more important for men than for women. Men tend to bond over shared experiences, shared workouts, shared, noon basketball games at the gym, shared tennis matches. That's how guys a lot of times form friendships. That's one thing I've found is, when I want to make friends, I'll invite them out for Frisbee golf, or, over to my house to do a garage workout or something like that. And, if you're always working out by yourself in front of some mirror on the wall, at your house, you're also missing out on that. So I would say, if you're aware of the importance of real human interaction and shared experiences, and you're fabricating those somewhere else in your life, then, working out by yourself at home with some of these home fitness training devices, especially because of, like I mentioned, the low barrier to entry that occurs when you don't have to get in the car, drive to the gym, figure out what time the class is, show up, shower, go home. For me personally, if I have a chance to work out during the day, it's like a 20 or 30 minute slot a couple times during the day. And I could use all that time driving to the gym, or I could just hop out to my garage or my backyard or my basement and throw something down. And that's what I do like 90% of the time. And I get all my social interaction through, group dinners and and church outings and playing tennis with folks and stuff like that. So yeah, I still think the pros outweigh the cons of a lot of these trendy fitness devices for home.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about lifestyles instead of nonstop yelling, check out our lifestyle playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, check out our full episode playlist. They're both right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.